Revelation chapter 14, 1-3. And I looked, and lo, a Lamb stood on the Mount Sion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder, and I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung, as it were, a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. There is considerable controversy surrounding the 144,000 redeemed souls mentioned by John in the book of Revelation. Throughout history, various groups have claimed to be the 144,000 mentioned in the Bible. Among these, the Jehovah's Witnesses are particularly notable. They interpret the 144,000 as a specific group destined to reign with Christ in heaven and play a pivotal role during the end times. This interpretation forms a key part of their doctrine. In the 1930s, the Jehovah's Witnesses organization declared that the full complement of the 144,000 had been reached, suggesting that future members would spend eternity on earth instead of heaven. At that time, about 52,465 witnesses believed they were among the heaven-bound 144,000. However, over the subsequent years, this number significantly declined. By 2005, only 8,524 members identified as part of this group. Interestingly, by 2020, the figure had risen to 21,182. The Watchtower Society, the governing body of the Jehovah's Witnesses, now teaches that the final sealing of the 144,000 will occur just before the onset of the Great Tribulation. Throughout history, a tremendous number of groups, including various Christian sects and actual cults, have claimed to be the 144,000. Several smaller Christian sects and cult movements in particular have asserted a special identification with the 144,000. Often these claims are integrated into a broader eschatological framework that is unique to each specific group. Over the years, some churches have claimed that their members are the 144,000 referenced in Revelation. These groups often recruit members by suggesting that joining their church might secure a place among these 144,000. Additionally, certain churches have exploited this concept for financial gain, urging people to donate or tithe with the promise of being included among the 144,000. Such practices reflect a range of interpretations and claims made by various groups, both in the past and present, who assert that they represent the exclusive inner circle of the 144,000. Some interpret this figure as representing the total number of individuals who will achieve salvation across the universe. There are even churches that claim only their members are the 144,000. It is notable that there are people who believe that salvation is exclusive to those in their church, those who look like them, talk like them, and share their exact beliefs. However, this interpretation does not align with the broader Christian belief that God desires salvation for all. Salvation is not exclusive to any particular group, race, or socioeconomic background. Jesus Christ's sacrifice was for all of humanity, embracing every nationality, the rich and the poor, spanning all continents: Asia, Africa, Europe, North America, South America, Australia, Oceania, and even Antarctica. God does not belong to one nation. He is not American, South American, Asian, African, or European. Christ's death was for both the young and the old. Scripture emphasizes that Christ died for all sinners, and God offers an open invitation to salvation to every man and woman. Therefore, salvation is not confined to merely the 144,000. So, who are the 144,000 John wrote about? They are the 12,000 from each tribe of the children of Israel, whom God will use significantly during the time of the Great Tribulation to evangelize the world. These Jews will bear the seal of God on their foreheads, protecting them from harm. Revelation 7:1-8. After this I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding back the 4 winds of the earth to prevent any wind from blowing on the land or on the sea or on any tree. Then I saw another angel coming up from the east, having the seal of the living God. He called out in a loud voice to the 4 angels, who had been given power to harm the land and the sea. Do not harm the land or the sea or the trees, until we put a seal on the foreheads of the servants of our God. Then I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000 from all the tribes of Israel. From the tribe of Judah, 12,000 were sealed. From the tribe of Reuben, 12,000. From the tribe of Gad, 12,000. From the tribe of Asher, 12,000. From the tribe of Naphtali, 12,000. From the tribe of Manasseh, 12,000. From the tribe of Simeon, 12,000. From the tribe of Levi, 12,000. From the tribe of Issachar, 12,000. From the tribe of Zebulun, 12,000. From the tribe of Joseph, 12,000. From the tribe of Benjamin, 12,000. You see, the identity of the 144,000 is clearly stated in the Bible. God did not leave any gray areas as to the identity of this select group of people. They are of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Now, something that may stand out to you in this list of tribes is that Manasseh is listed here, but he is actually the son of Joseph. This inclusion is deeply rooted in the poignant narrative found in Genesis 48, where Jacob, also known as Israel, makes a profound decision that shapes the lineage of the tribes of Israel. As we delve into Genesis 48, we encounter Jacob in his final days, residing in Egypt. Joseph, Jacob's beloved son, who was once presumed dead, brings his two sons Manasseh and Ephraim to his father. These are pivotal moments as Jacob, who has experienced God's faithfulness throughout his life, is about to bestow blessings upon his grandsons. Manasseh, as the firstborn, would traditionally receive the greater blessing. However, Jacob, guided by divine insight, reverses this order. He crosses his arms and places his right hand on Ephraim's head, the younger, and his left hand on Manasseh's head. This act is more than a mere gesture. It is a prophetic symbol of God's sovereign choice. Jacob declares, "Manasseh and Ephraim are mine," effectively elevating them to an equal status with his own sons, thus granting them each a portion of the inheritance in the Promised Land. This act of Jacob, adopting Manasseh and Ephraim, results in the birth of two separate tribes in the name of Joseph's sons, rather than just one tribe under Joseph's name. Consequently, when we read Revelation 7, we see the tribe of Manasseh listed alongside the other tribes, a direct result of Jacob's blessing and adoption of Joseph's sons. This inclusion of Manasseh serves as a powerful testament to the unpredictable ways of divine providence. It reminds us that God's plans and purposes often defy human expectations and conventions. The story of Manasseh and Ephraim, interwoven into the fabric of Israel's history, stands as a beacon of God's sovereignty and the fulfillment of his promises. It also underscores the theme that runs throughout the Scriptures. God often chooses the unexpected and the overlooked to fulfill his grand design. The descendants of this tribe are here on earth. Depending on how close we are to the Great Tribulation, the actual 144,000 themselves could all be on earth right now, for all we know. But one thing we do know for sure is that they are here on earth, whether it may be their fathers and mothers or their grandparents or great-grandparents. We know that from the lines of these tribes, the 144,000 will come. So, if anyone tells you to join their church so you can be part of the 144,000 and thus be saved from the Great Tribulation, don't do it. Don't give your money to anyone who tries to make you buy your way into the 144,000. It is not possible. This shows us something that is astonishing about God. His ways are beyond our understanding, transcending our limited perspectives. Look at God's ability to stand outside of time and the constraints of time. He is not bound by the linear progression of events as we are, and map out the descendants of a group of people thousands of years in advance. This level of foresight is beyond human comprehension, showcasing a divine orchestration of history. That is the God who we serve. We worship a God who orchestrates events with precision and purpose. Nothing just happens by accident. Every occurrence is part of a larger divine plan, meticulously woven by the Creator. This is the omniscience of God. He possesses complete and perfect knowledge, a testament to his divine nature. He knows all things. Does that not just impress you? His wisdom and knowledge surpass our wildest imaginations, inviting us to trust in his perfect plans. Isaiah 55:8-9. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. These verses capture the essence of God's transcendence. You are limited by time, God isn't. Our lives are constrained by temporal boundaries, but God exists beyond these limits. God is so above us. How many of you know what is going to happen an hour from now, let alone 10 minutes from now? Our ability to predict or understand the future is minimal at best. But God sits in a place where He sees the end from the beginning. He views the tapestry of time from a vantage point that encompasses all of history, present and future. These 144,000 Jews will be sealed during the Great Tribulation. They will live solely for the Lord and proclaim His message fearlessly to all people on earth. No harm intended against them will succeed because they carry the seal of God. They will walk this earth under the Lord's protection. I am certain the Antichrist will oppose them, but he will be powerless against them. We can confidently assert that these 144,000 are not the total number of people going to heaven, as they will be sealed during the Great Tribulation. By then, the rapture of the saints will have already taken place, meaning many believers will have already joined the Lord. Thus, the 144,000 are exclusively from the tribes of Israel. Zechariah 12:10. Foretold how the Jewish people will recognize the Lord in the last days. And I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and of supplications, and they shall look upon me whom they have pierced, and they shall mourn for him, as one mourneth for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. It is this awakening to Jesus Christ that will empower the Jews to endure the Great Tribulation. Therefore, this group does not represent the church, which is the entire body of Christ. Rather, they are a specific segment of the Jews who will be divinely appointed by God for a crucial end-time role. The 144,000 from the tribes of Israel will be a beacon of light in the profound darkness of the world during the Great Tribulation. They will steadfastly uphold the truth and defend the name of the Lord. Revelation 14:4-5 highlights their virtues. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of God. They are set to exemplify God's holiness in a world rife with sin. Their commitment to preaching the gospel of Christ, even amidst the Antichrist's hostility and in the face of persecution, underlines their unwavering faith. This demonstrates that regardless of how corrupt a generation may be, God will always have a remnant devoted to His cause. God will never be without His faithful servants. There should be no confusion regarding the 144,000 being the only ones to enter heaven, as the Bible does not support this claim. Revelation 7:9-10 speaks of a vast multitude, distinct from the 144,000 immediately after their mention. It states, "After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our God, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb." The 144,000 will join this immense assembly of saints and the celestial host in a new song of praise to the Lord. Therefore, in heaven, our eternal joy will be to sing praises to the Most High, from everlasting to everlasting.